Okay, so for the second file, what I want you to do is to take uh, this file here, and I want you to make me a cube, put something inside of the cube, give it a background, and then I'm going to want you to crop. Okay, this is the first time we're using the crop tool. All right, so um, I have purposely made, as you have noticed, I'm sure, this semi-transparent, okay, so that you can see the background. So essentially what I want you to do is to build me a box, okay? Make sure your layer stack makes sense, right? Meaning that the front two planes of the cube should be ahead of everything else, okay? Um, and then I want you to place something inside of it. I don't really care what, as long as it meets standards of the school, it doesn't matter to me, okay? So here's how I suggest to go about doing it. Go ahead and make a copy, okay? Um, I find it easiest personally just to hold down Alt and then click and drag, and it'll make it, you can do it however, which way you want, okay? So for example, right here, I'm gonna go and start with this plane. I'm gonna pull this into shape. So I'm gonna hit Command T, hold down Command, and I'm gonna pull that there, hold down Command or Control, pull that up to here. And do the same down here. Once it's in shape, I'm going to hit return. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing. It may be easier for you to go ahead and turn off the layer you just made. Okay, so you can see what you're doing. Let me do the top plane. Okay, because again, it's going to be a little bit hard at first. So Command T. So you need to decide. So for example, this is my top left, so it's going to go right here. Okay. My bottom left is going to go right here. Okay. My top right is going to go here. And my bottom right is going to go back here. That's the way I think of it. Makes it easier for me. So top left, top right, bottom right, whatever works for you, as long as you can get this into shape. Okay, and hit return to apply the transformation. Okay, now what I want to make sure is that, for example, this plane is in front of this plane. Okay, and not the opposite. Okay, because otherwise you'll get this, and that's clearly not correct. All right, again, there's a reason why I made that transparent. Okay. So make sure your layer stack is in the correct order. If you have to rename your layers, go ahead. Hopefully you know that a cube is made up of 6 sides, if you think about dice, right? So you'll need a total of 6 layers to make this, okay? Whatever you place inside of it, make sure it's behind those front 2 layers. Okay, give me a background, I don't, whatever you want. Okay, now the last thing I want you to do, and we haven't covered this before, is the crop tool. Now we don't use the crop tool a ton because it is a destructive editing. C is the keyboard shortcut. Okay, it is your 5th tool down. Okay, your options are up here at the top, by the way, in case you want to play with it. So, for example, right now, the last thing I worked on, I had a 1:1 aspect ratio. You hit clear to clear that. Okay, I want you to go ahead and crop it. Oops, grab the wrong thing. Okay, so with the crop tool, you can grab the edges here. Again, Photoshop is running super slow for me today, folks. Okay, and you can pull them up and down. Okay, the crop tool also likes to grab at the edges. Okay. Now, once you have your area defined, you can actually click inside of the area and pull stuff around. Okay, to set what your crop is. You can also, for example, if I wanted to, boy, this is running slow. I'm hearing the hard drive kick on, so I don't know what's going on. Okay, once I have this set, in order to apply the crop tool, you just hit return or enter. Okay, and what it will do is it will crop, okay, to this. This is really useful again for if you're getting ready to do a final image. Okay, you can also, for example, if I look at my image size, okay, you see it's 9.597 by 8.477. let's say I wanted to even that out. Okay, I could crop it and make the aspect ratio 9:8. Okay, and when I do that, it will automatically give me that ratio. Okay, let's say I wanted to make it 9:7. You'll notice then it moves in. Okay, so remember though, this is an aspect ratio. It doesn't necessarily reflect the exact size of what you're going to make. Okay, because if I crop it now, and I go back to my image size, you notice how it's 9.597 by 7.463. That's because it maintained the aspect ratio. It didn't crop it to 9:7. Okay, if I wanted to change my image size to 9:7, right, here's where I can put it in, right? So if I resample, oops, and remember, you can always resample down. That's not a problem. Resampling up is a problem. Okay, hit OK. There we go. Now it's actually 9:7. You don't have to make your image 9:7. Just pointing out what that does. Okay, be careful with the crop tool because now once I save, it's cropped and it's gone, man. So, all right, there we go.